If I hadn't enhanced my body with mana, my head would be rolling by now. I don't know how you little shit learned that strange technique, but with such weak mana, you don't stand a chance of killing me. You will die here. Frank, overconfident with himself, let out a Pac-Man smile. Truly, even an imbecile can dress with fashion, but the brain remains bare like a desert, Gilson replied. You little shit, what did you say? Asked Frank as he realized a slight smile on Gilson's face. Gilson swiftly redirected his attack, following up with the bitch slap kick Will Smith technique. At that moment, Frank had a quick sneak peek of heaven. I don't know what I saw now, but your attacks aren't capable of harming me. But the next moment, Frank began to choke on red juice. Frank had internal bleeding as his body finally began to feel the effects of Gilson's attack. Is this nigger having some delayed attack technique? Or is he beating me on a higher frame rate that my body is just taking effect later? It should have been impossible for Gilson's attacks to pierce through his enhancement skill level. Never expected that there was a true culprit behind Elena's death, so it was you. Gilson's voice was calm and chilling, like death coming to collect its debt. His mana energy blazing like a volcano and unstable, as if the calm nature earlier was a restraint slowly being unsealed as Gilson unleashed his third mana core. The scene shocked Frank, as he didn't understand how Gilson's mana got a 3 times boost, but this was a battle, not an interview. As Gilson rushed, in an instant he had already closed the distance. Unleashing a barrage of attacks, he forced Frank into the defensive with no chance of error, as error would mean his death. But as time passed, Gilson's attacks became more precise, sharper, and heavier with each strike, like a boulder being launched point blank. Frank realized it was impossible. By each strike, his hands went numb just trying to block Gilson's barrage of attacks to the point his blade had cracks. Frank believed that Gilson's mana boost must have a duration. Despite his analysis, Frank had never seen such a method for one to boost mana. At the moment Gilson's mana got boosted, it was as if he wasn't facing a man, but a beast that had been disturbed from its slumber. Gilson, like death itself, closed in again and attacked with force, much greater than before. The mere force made Frank's blade shatter on impact, and like a raging beast, Gilson sliced across Frank's chest. The after-damage caused devastating wounds, leaving deep marks. Gilson, preparing another attack, launched a piercing strike at Frank, piercing through his body. Holy shit, if I hadn't moved, this fucker could have sniped my balls with that blade of his. I can't die and go without balls, Frank exclaimed. Before he could feel relieved, he received a sweet night chin attack and got pinned to the wall. Where were we? Yes, let's finish our conversation before you die, shall we? Gilson commanded. Who was the one who ordered this request? Gilson continued to demand an answer as he slowly pushed the blade deeper into Frank's abdomen. Frank, not allowing himself to go down easily, pulled out his secret dagger. Frank knew Gilson was not someone he could deal with, and his best option was Gilson's younger sister Elena. Ready to launch his sneak attack, he realized his hands were restrained. It was the threat Gilson had shown earlier before the battle had begun. Careful there, Frank. How about this? We make a deal. Don't try anything or I bring down my blade on your pencil.
I'm sorry, Mr. Whitaker. I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
I said, God help me.
Now answer my question, and maybe I will let you bleed to death as an ultimatum. This motherfucker Gilson be given 2 choices, where choice A is to die and choice B is still choice A. Don't try anything and answer my question and I'll sheath my sword. What is this? Are these threads created by mana, and when did he make them? Frank pondered. I'm sure someone of your caliber would know how to patch yourself up. Though that wouldn't matter if I destroy your mana core, Frank. This made Frank highly alert as Gilson pierced deeper into Frank's body. Frank began to panic in fear as he felt his mana scattering and his mana core beginning to crack. Frank questioned if Gilson was out of his mind, as one wrong move could cause an explosion and blow the whole area away. Gilson realized Frank was planning to self-destruct, but this wasn't enough to make him panic as such a thing he could manage. Gilson's calm demeanor made Frank uneasy. Looking into Gilson's eyes, it was as if Frank was gazing into the abyss, and he knew he was surely going to die. This made Frank spill out the mastermind's name, Count Desmond. He was the one who commanded this. He said he needed a pretext to start a war against the Perdium family and degrade the family. Is that so? So it was Count Desmond in my previous life. Such underground work was left for the families allied with the ducal house. Duke Delphine, how dare you orchestrate this nonsense from behind the scenes? Is that the reason you wanted to kill my younger sister Elena? This made Gilson uncontrollable. Pushing the blade further into Frank's body. "What are you doing? This isn't what you told me earlier," Frank exclaimed as he groaned in pain. Seeing no signs of hope, Frank warned Gilson that even after his death, nothing would change, as his work today was already executed and more were coming. He laughed slyly as he knew no one would listen to Gilson. Before Frank could finish, Gilson slammed his head into the wall. "Nothing will happen. As I was reborn this time, everything will be different this time." Frank's body began to collapse, unable to contain the mana inside himself, as his mana core shattered. The energy shot into the sky like a shooting star, and with an explosion that resounded like the famous Mexican firework El Diablo, what was left of Frank was a pool of blood, his dead subordinates, and the traitor guards. Looking back, Gilson saw Elena was still okay and safe. Letting go of his blade, he was filled with relief that one of the disasters had been avoided. But after holding it in for so long, Gilson couldn't bear the internal damage anymore, as he spilled out a mouthful of red juice and fell on his knees in pain. Gilson knew he had pushed himself far past the limits of his current body, as opening 3 cores was straining his body. But when he was the Mercenary King, he had them open casually. Looking at the building ahead, Gilson gathered himself up as he didn't want to fall like this. He broke into the house before him, where 2 corpses lay. In his previous life, Gilson recalled that they had found other corpses beside Elena's. According to what Frank said earlier, the man who was supposed to be here was indeed the son of House Degrade. Beside him was his escort knight's dead body. Gilson now understood that they were silenced to frame them as Elena's killers. In the moment this was revealed, it had caused a war. But Gilson had already prepared, as he was ready to erase the evidence. He lit the house and the corpses on fire, not allowing the plans of the person in the shadows to commence. A figure was seen observing everything. Having seen enough, the figure left before he could be discovered.